Hello, welcome to another edition of Talking Sports and Fitness with Zeke. You know who I am Zeke, also Mike Zielinski. Like us on Facebook, subscribe to the People Chronicles channel on YouTube. Back for an encore is Roy Snyder. You made such a big splash on our first program. We had to have you back, Roy. Welcome. Roy is the longtime accomplished, ultra accomplished swim coach at Wilson. As we referenced in his, as of this taping, you've won 4 state championships, 15 district championships, 28 league championships, and you have over 500 wins, actually 526 in your 52nd season at Wilson. Now, Roy, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're on your second pool at Wilson, right? That's,
yeah,
you know, because
yeah,
you came to Wilson, what, 64, 65? You came with a pool, right?
Yeah, they built the first Wilson pool, first actual school pool in Berks County. We actually got in late 65. But yeah, so I've been. This is on my second pool.
And how long? And you have a state of the art pool now. How long has that been in use?
This is our second year.
Second year.
Yeah, we lost a year. Actually, the new pool, excuse me, is in the same place as the old pool. So we won a season where they did all the renovation.
Where'd you swim?
We swam at Governor Mifflin like at 8, 9 o'clock at night, a couple of nights.
Oh, jeez.
We swam at the Old Jewish Community Center out on Hampton Boulevard.
Okay.
It was just a little 4-lane pool. We swam out there.
That was a challenge, right?
Yeah, it was at night. But you know what? We made the best of it, and we actually had a pretty good season that year. And but now, thank gosh, we're back in. The new pool's great. It's 10 lanes wide. Now we doubled the seating. It now seats about 600 instead of about 300. And it is a state-of-the-art facility. Yeah. Thank God for the foresight of the board and the administration at Wilson, for not just for the pool, but for the athletic facilities.
Well, the athletic facilities at Wilson are top notch. But I think that the success of the swim program, which is remarkable, it probably made it easier for them to make that investment, because I also know the community uses that pool pretty extensively as well. Yeah. What is it about West Lawn? I mean, when you think of West Lawn, I mean, today as we tape, it's cold. We don't think of it as, you know, it's not Honolulu. Why is it such a swim capital? I think it's because of you.
Well, I don't know about that, but it's hard to say. I mean, you touched upon, you know, a total comprehensive swim program, and that's what when I started the program at Wilson, I stole a lot from the YMCA and some of my background in Allentown where I grew up, and it's not just about competitive swimming. People don't realize we have a really big lesson program where we teach kids how to swim.
Yeah,
your kids probably went through it.
Yeah, they did.
and then they go from there into an age group program or a feeder program or youth program, which is like 200 strong right now. And so it all feeds in, and there's a lot of, you know, success breeds success, and, you know, so we got a lot of interest in the sport, and I really not sure, but we have a great staff, so it attracts a lot of people.
What keeps you going? I mean, 52 years, you know, it's 58 if you count the Y. I mean, swimming is a repetition sport, and you've been doing and watching people do basically the same thing for over 5 decades, but it doesn't get old for you. What inspires you and instills this in you to keep at it?
I think the kids.
The kids?
Yeah, working with the kids and seeing them improve. And I think not to brag or anything, but I think one of the things I do well at is taking just average or even below average kids and making them pretty good. And that's where we hang our hat at Wilson. It's a team thing. We're all about team. We're all about everybody counts, and it's just work for us. And I just look forward to going to the pool every day. It's fun.
It's great to do what you love, isn't it?
It is. It's not a job.
Oh, awesome. So it sounds like you get almost as much, if not more, satisfaction in developing someone maybe with mediocre skills to become better than perhaps maybe developing a state champion who has a lot of inherent capabilities.
Yeah, I mean, when you get the Christy Cowells and Nate Savoys and some of those kids, probably almost anybody could coach them. Maybe not to the same level they get, but and I say that not because of me, but because of being a program where there's a lot of other kids that can help push them on a daily basis, and that's what they need. I mean, Wilson's been successful in football and swimming and soccer and a lot of other things for the same reasons. We try to breed team success.
Water polo, which is a byproduct, obviously, of the swim program. Yeah. You've been doing this all these years. Are you coaching any of your former swimmers' grandchildren yet?
I don't know about grandchildren.
I know you. I'm sure you're doing kids.
A lot of their kids.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I probably am.
How has swimming changed over the years? Is it a sport? I mean, it's like football obviously has a lot of evolutionary changes, basketball to a certain degree. Is swimming pretty similar to, say, it was 30 years ago? Obviously, the training, nutrition, weightlifting is probably much different, but...
Yeah, when I swam, I swam 50, 60 years ago. But at that time, weightlifting or strength training was frowned upon.
Yeah.
Because you get too...
Makes you tight, right?
It might get too muscle bound. And
most sports, baseball, they all were.
Yeah, they were that way. And in the last 25 to 30 years, that's an important phase of our program. I mean, our kids are in the weight room 3 times a week, boys and girls, and that's an important part of the program.
And you're very involved with that, I take it.
I am not. That's one place that I'm phasing myself out. This year we hired a new physical education teacher who's my assistant coach, who's big into strength and training and physical training. So I've pretty much turned our strength and conditioning over to him, and he's doing a great job with it.
Now, swimmers, do they develop their endurance mostly by swimming, or do they run laps too?
No, we pretty much swim.
Which gives you all the aerobic capacity, I would assume.
It does. It does. Some coaches run. Maybe because I was never a runner myself. I was never big. But there are some teams that take their kids out and run stadium steps and this and that. We just never got into that much. I think they get their aerobic capacity my gosh. In a typical practice, there's probably swimming 6,000-7,000 yards, which would, I don't know, that's 300-400 laps.
And it takes a lot of dedication because, you have to have tunnel vision. At least if you're running outside, you have different scenery, different landscape, but you're basically just looking at chlorine and water, right?
I don't see the chlorine.
I know you don't see it, but you may feel it in your eyes sometimes. Yeah.
But no, it's actually I don't see it that way because first of all, the kids are swimming 4 different strokes.
Yeah.
A typical practice is there's a group of butterflyers and a group of breaststrokers and backs. It's almost like football with a lineman and the defensive backs and so forth. And we try to we'll start the season with a lot of general training, but right now we're 2/3 of the way into our season and we're doing a lot of specifics where we break them down by stroke and by groups and by ability and so forth.
And is there a certain physical characteristic that makes someone a better backstroker than, say, a freestyler?
Yeah, not really. You never know. We try to teach the kids, especially at the youth level, try to teach them all 4 strokes because you never know. Christy Cole's a great example. She went on to become a silver medalist in the 200-meter breaststroke. And as a kid, when she started in our age group program, she was doing freestyle and butterfly and backstroke. And breaststroke was her worst stroke.
Yeah.
So you never know. So, and oftentimes kids will get stale or they'll plateau. And then we'll say, hey, let's get out of the freestyle lane. Let's try breaststroke today.
We're almost out of time, but I was just curious. What's technically the hardest stroke to do?
Technically, and you wouldn't think it, is breaststroke.
You know what? I actually was going to guess that. Yeah, because I think some people probably think butterfly.
Everybody thinks butterfly, but breaststroke's the hardest. It really is. If it's done correctly, it's the most demanding of the 4 strokes.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. What were you?
I was a butterflyer. When I swam, it was called the butterfly breaststroke. They only had 3 strokes. The freestyle, the backstroke, and you did the butterfly with your arms, but you did a breaststroke kick. And then in the 50s, they came out with a dolphin kick.
Okay, and that kind of changed the
that changed the whole thing of swimming. I mean, You go to a big meet today, and the backstroke, the butterfly, even the freestyle to some degree, they're under the water doing their fish kicks or their dolphin kicks for 3/4 of the length of the pool.
Yeah. Final question. After all these years, is it difficult for you to go through your Rolodex of memories and pick out spots, especially since you're still doing it? Or in your spare time, do you think, what are the things that stand out at you?
Oh boy.
So much accomplishment.
That's tough. When I think back, and my son and my daughter get annoyed at me because I remember the losses.
You sound like a coach.
And but you know, we've had so many highlights. I really couldn't.
Yeah.
I really couldn't pick one or two.
You have plans to keep doing this?
As long as I'm healthy.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Working with kids keeps people young at heart.
It does. It really does. Yeah.
Roy Snyder, you are a treasure here in Berks County. It is our privilege to have you on the People Chronicles, talking sports and fitness with Zeke. And thank you for listening, and tell your friends about us and share the great program here on the People Chronicles. Take care.
These community stories are made possible in part by BCTV, Susie Ray Design, Queen City Family Restaurant, Lamar Advertising, Heidelberg Family Restaurant, Reading Air, Lions and Hole, Peanut Bar, and Kutztown University.